Ho ho ho. Oh, yeah, okay. We are doing a Christmas movie, aren't we? Oh, Christmas in July, I guess. It is July, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. This is Chip Codroach, and yes, I'm reviewing a Christmas movie in July. Why, you ask? Because we are remembering a legend in Hollywood that unfortunately passed away. Now it's been a couple days. As everybody heard, Bob Newhart passed away.
Yeah, who's that?
Okay, history lesson. I honestly, now in your defense here, I haven't seen a whole lot of Bob Newhart. Now he did have the Bob Newhart show. That's one. I've actually never seen it. I'm about to look into it a little bit. He was in the movie In and Out. That's when I first saw him. That was a movie with Kevin Kline. I believe that was back in '96.
I don't know who that is either or what that is, so.
Okay. I didn't do that movie because he wasn't a main character. And he was in the movie Elf, which I will be reviewing. And I will give you my grade at the end. And he was also, I don't know, you may have known him, he was Professor Proton in Young Sheldon and also in Big Bang Theory.
I did not watch that.
Young Sheldon?
I saw the other one.
But I thought they showed him in Young Sheldon as Professor Proton.
I think they showed that guy once, and I have no idea who the hell he was then either.
Okay. Well, that's who Bob Newhart is. He's a Hollywood legend. And he is the head elf. Which did make me laugh.
Was.
Elf. Or, sorry, was. Past tense. And this movie was in 2003. This also stars the very good actor James Caan.
Who's that?
I'm about to answer that. He was in The Godfather.
Never seen it.
He was in The Program. He was in
Never seen it.
Misery.
Nope.
He was in Brian Song.
Nope.
Any
I know of?
I thought you would have heard of Misery when he's held captive by Kathy Bates.
Who the heck is that?
Oh my.
So no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, we will get to Kathy Bates later on when I go through when I do the ending closing statements in this review. I will get into that. Anything else James Caan was in that you may have seen? I don't think so. Maybe there wasn't. Okay, so Ed Asner plays Santa Claus.
Who's that?
He was in the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Never seen it.
No, you saw him. He was in Hard Rain. He was the guy that died at the beginning. He was the older guy in the truck.
And what?
Hard Rain.
What the heck is that?
You know the movie with the flood?
No.
Remember when they're going into school with the jet skis?
Oh, that movie was dumb.
Well, we're not doing a review on Hard Rain, but he was the old guy in the truck that got shot.
Oh, okay.
So he was also in a show called Thunder Alley.
Nope.
No, you wouldn't have seen that. That went off the air, I think, when you were 2. It was only on for a couple seasons. They didn't do any reruns. Let's see. We have the fat, useless Artie Lang, who plays one of the Santa Clauses in this. Fazian Love was in this. He was in Couples Retreat. Let's see. We also have Jon Favreau, who did direct this. He played the doctor, Buddy's dad's doctor, to be exact. Let's see here. We also have Todd Gass. We have... I don't know who that is either. I'm just naming off the people that are starring in this movie. Mary Steinbergen. She was in Step Brothers, Summer Story. She's married to Ted Danson. Not ringing a bell, I see. Michael Lerner's in this. I know you don't know who that is. He was in 8 Men Out. He unfortunately passed away as well. He was also in Barton Fink. And then we have Will Ferrell. So anyways,
We have who?
Will Ferrell. So
Who?
Buddy the Elf.
And what's his actual actor name?
Will Ferrell.
Can you say that any lower?
WF is in this movie. You said we can't swear, or it's $1. For him, it might be 10. Sorry, I did forget a very important character in this. I was just talking about her. Zoe Deschanel is in this. Yes,
Who?
Bones' real life sister. She was a new girl in Trolls. Obviously, a voice in Trolls. She was not a troll, and she plays Jovi in this. So I will get to her character in just a few minutes. Now I got to go and tell the story. So the premise of this is Will Ferrell is in an orphanage.
Buddy.
Buddy is in an orphanage. And he decides to be curious, and he sees Santa Claus eating the cookies. So Santa Claus is stealing somebody else's cookies. He's got to be full after that night. So what Buddy does is he decides to crawl in Santa's sack. So Santa takes him back to the North Pole. And he crawls out Christmas morning. So they decide to take Buddy in. He's adopted by the head elf, Papa Elf, which is Bob Newhart. Bob Newhart decides to adopt this human kid. A human into the elf world is a little bit different. They make toys very fast. They eat a diet that would give us diabetes in a matter of seconds. And
Cookie and hot chocolate.
Cookies, hot chocolate, candy canes, gumdrops, all that good stuff. So, and also elves, as you know, are small.
Short. Not small, short.
Short. And Buddy turns out to be 6'3". So obviously there are signs that he's not an elf at an older age. So what happens is Buddy finds out he's behind on his toy making. And then they tell him that he's a little bit different. And then they explain to him what actually happened. Now, some things that don't make sense is Papa Elf is a very level-headed man. And his person that he brought up, his, what do you want to call him, stepson, whatever.
Son.
The son is, let's just say he's a little bit, he's not that smart. And I thought that Bob Newhart's character is very intelligent. I thought that maybe he would have a better upbringing. It doesn't make much sense. And again, the diet that elves eat, this guy would have rotted teeth, and he would be about Artie Lang's size. So
who?
That's not a big deal if you don't know who that is. He was in Billy Madison. Oh, and Andy Richter's in this too. Oh yeah, I think I already mentioned that. The very talentless Andy Richter is also in this movie. So anyways, so Buddy ends up, he finds out who his father is. Another part that doesn't make sense to me is he's asking questions about, well, his dad's in New York City, so he's asking questions about that. Santa Claus says you need to know a couple things. He tells him the basics. He tells him about the transportation and don't eat the gum that's on that's on the ground. It's not a all-you-can-eat candy buffet. So he asks about his father. He said he can't wait to meet him. He can't wait to go ice skating and eat hot chocolate. And then Santa Claus pretty much says, well, your dad's on the naughty list. What adult is on the naughty list? Isn't that a kid thing?
No, everybody's on either the nice or the naughty. You're on neither because I don't know. You're on a whole different level.
Then what level would that be?
I can't say.
What is it? Naughty one day and nice another?
No, it's worse than naughty.
It's worse than naughty. What is it? The very bad list? Is that
I was gonna say something else, but yes.
okay? All right. So, anyways, his dad is on the naughty list, which I thought was just for kids, but apparently it is not. So the scenes of him going to New York City, I'm not gonna lie, they did make me snicker a little bit. Actually, going before that, I'm gonna say I do like the way that Santa Claus's workshop looks. I do like his little adventure to go to New York City, even though that's incredibly weird as well. I do like the candy cane forest. I like some of the animated. Oh, we're fine on time. I do like the animated penguin and the Rudolph snowman. I did like that.
What the hell is a Rudolph snowman?
The snowman from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the claymation one that we like.
Frosty?
Frosty, yeah.
Why didn't you say Frosty?
Because I thought he had a different name.
Frosty the Snowman. What?
Well, I didn't know I didn't know that Frosty was in Rudolph, the snowman with the beard. For some reason, I thought he had a
that
different
one?
name. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who that one is.
I thought he had a different name, but I could be wrong.
No, he probably does. That's not Frosty.
Okay, so anyways, so after all this, he does go to New York City. But remember now, he's dressed as an elf. So he does stand out quite a bit. Now, if he was somewhere else, like California, he'd fit in fine. So, anyways...
How would you even know that?
It was a joke. But just him going up an escalator's funny. Him waving to the taxi cab is kind of amusing.
Rascal, what are you doing?
Him taking the world's best cup of coffee literally is kind of amusing too. So I am going to get to the... Oh, hey Snippy, we have a guest.
We better had a guest like 3 minutes ago.
We have, he made me jump. So we are going to get to the
He scared
first
you?
clip of Bob Newhart. Yes, or Papa Elf.
He scared you?
Hey, he did. I wasn't expecting it.
Probably a lot of things you didn't know about elves. Another interesting elfism. There are only 3 jobs available to an elf. The first is making shoes at night while the old cobbler sleeps.
Lazy bum.
Okay, so this is Papa Elf. He's explaining what elves do a little bit. I had to be real careful with the clips because the YouTube Fun Police is starting to label copyright in my videos. So I have to be careful. So, one thing I forgot to add was people think that this movie is a Christmas classic. That is a strong thing to say with all the Christmas movies that have come out. And I will let you know at the end of my review if I consider this a classic or what I will be putting it up against. I wouldn't have to go this route, but everybody tells me how great this movie is. So we are going to find out. But anyways, this is...
I have never seen this movie
That's fine.
in my life.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it came out 20 years ago. I've never seen it. That should tell you how good of a movie it is.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm glad I watched it alone. And I didn't watch it with anybody because they would have ruined it even more. They would have destroyed it for me. Just like The Dark Knight was destroyed. Every time the Joker came out, people would give him a standing ovation. Talk about annoyance.
Who played the Joker in that?
Heath Ledger.
He died, right?
Yes.
Oh.
So, this is...
He's supposed to be one of the best Jokers, though, isn't he?
I guess, but that's what...
I have The Dark Knight. We can watch that after this.
But that's what was written for him, though, too. If Jack Nicholson had that part written, I think he could have done just as good of a job.
I never actually watched that either.
But anyways, we're not doing The Dark Knight yet. I'll get torched for that one, I'm sure. We'll save that for a rainy day. So, so let's get back to Elf. Okay, so this is obviously Papa Elf, and he's telling the story. So now I will get to the next very short clip of Buddy going into Santa's sack. And this is while Buddy is still cute and adorable. Well, this is Mr. Curiosity. I don't know if he had fun on this journey to the North Pole, riding on a sleigh at, I don't know, 300 miles an hour. Probably had the time of his life, I would think, since he didn't cry. But there he is going into Santa's sack. Now we are going to go to Christmas morning when Santa Claus discovers his accidental kidnapping. Well, Buddy's out of the bag. So, anyways, so Santa Claus discovers him. The elves think he's cute. And something that Papa Elf says very boldly, I forgot about this part, was he said, I am his adopted father. So he says that with such boldness, like he's saying, I did not create this thing. So he's making it very clear that Buddy is his adopted son. Not blood related. So, yes, I was laughing at that part because I may have found it funny for other reasons. Other people just think I'm just being mean. So now,
Were you?
No, I was being honest. So now I will go to Buddy struggling with life as an elf.
Hey, Ming Ming. I'm gonna be a little bit short on today's quota.
Sorry, buddy. Just how many Etch-a-Sketches did you get finished?
Which part were we?
The thingy that he was making that he did not do enough of.
Oh, okay. Yep, okay, now I remember. We had to take a quick time out. So he's on Etch-a-Sketch duty, and he was a little short. He made 85. He was 950 short of his quota. So yes, so afterwards they let him know that, yeah, you're a human being, you're not a real elf. And they pretty much said you should have known this since you're 6'3". You make things slower than everybody else. So they kind of tried to make it clear to him, but he just, whatever, just kind of was in denial or just blew it off, or he's too stupid to know. I'm going to go with number 3. So,
Oh, he takes after you.
so now I will go to the next clip, and this is Santa Claus wishing him well in New York City.
Yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to talk to you about. You know, buddy, your father, well, he's on the naughty list.
Alright, so this is Santa Claus explaining that pretty much his dad has no moral principles, and he's on the naughty list. So, Buddy has to yell and say, no, they should have warned me before I watched this movie. Please take aspirin with your dinner when you're watching this. Because Buddy yells a lot. So now we are going to meet Buddy's father. He is the very good actor, James Caan. And we are going to see him in just a couple seconds.
See, I see what you're trying to do here. You're trying to make me feel bad, when in actuality, you're the one that missed the payments. Get the joke.
So this is Buddy's father. He is turning away a nun. Did I laugh at this part? Yes.
What a surprise.
I thought it was kind of amusing. Well, they had to show something. I was not expecting a nun. I was expecting Girl Scout cookie people. But nope. He was turning away a nun. So it threw me off a little bit. I wasn't expecting that. So now we are going to show Buddy's journey, unrealistic journey, to New York City. So let's show that.
Bye, guys.
Bye, buddy. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, so this is his journey. He says goodbye to his animated friends, jumps on a piece of ice and then floats off, and that is his journey to New York City. Don't ask me how he gets there. Don't ask me how he survived the harsh weather. Don't ask me how he avoided boats coming at him. He just arrived in New York City. I guess we're not supposed to think of these things, but I did. So I will now show you his adventures in New York City. Just modern things that we take for granted he seemed to have trouble doing. And obviously following directions. We will get to that right now. That's disgusting. That's so gross. How can people watch this in a theater when they're eating snacks? Well, that's disgusting. I honestly, when I was eating dinner, I missed this part, and I'm glad I did. I probably would have seen my salmon again. I thought this part was actually really gross. And didn't Santa Claus tell him not to eat the gum that he did say on the ground? But I think that, pole or railing would be the same thing. But apparently not to Buddy the Elf. Or was this Will Ferrell just going out of character and just deciding to eat the gum on the rail? I wouldn't be surprised. Now let's go to him spinning in one of those revolving doors. So this is Buddy going on a revolving door, and he's spinning around like a top. And yes, he ends up going in a garbage can and throwing up. He made himself sick. That part did kind of make me laugh a little bit. I did kind of enjoy that. I enjoyed a couple of the other parts too, when he waved at the taxi driver. There were a few parts that actually did make me laugh. So far, I've gotten a few chuckles, but nothing really hilarious or over the top. But there's still a lot more to check. Well, not that much more to check out. It's only about a 90-minute movie. So we will go to this part where he introduces himself to his father in the Empire State Building. That has to go well, right? His dad is. It's not like he's on the naughty list or anything. Oh, he is. This may not go well. Let's find out.
Exactly where I came from. Santa must have called you.
Oh, yeah, sure. Just got off the cell phone.
You did?
So, go on.
Go on with what?
Well, are you going to sing a song or something, or can I just go back to work?
A song?
Okay, so he introduces himself, and they think it's a Christmas gram. That's why they let him in. So, turns out he's not. He says, "I'm your father. I came here from the North Pole." So how does his father greet him? Let's find out. So Buddy says, the dad actually says, sarcastically, thinking it's a Christmas gram, "Did you come from the North Pole?" So then Buddy says, "I did come from the North Pole. How do you think that went?" And then Buddy said that Walter Hobbs is his father. And let's see how his father greeted him. I'm sure it was with a big hug.
Okay, Walter's my father.
Well, your dad's busy right now.
Okay, I'll come back later.
Yeah, you're not going to come back for a while, okay? You're going to go back to Sandland.
Okay.
Why couldn't they do this when he was on Saturday Night Live? Oh, I'm not supposed to say that about Will Ferrell. I forgot. It's supposed to be nice.
You nice? Sent one.
Since always, people send me telegrams all the time.
You're mean to me every day.
No, I am not.
Okay, fine. You're mean to my dog every day.
Well, with that being said,
I know what you said. I know.
well, so security ended up escorting him out. No surprise there. He's dressed like a goofball. Well, so the next still that I will be showing is Well, he decides to. He found something. He found a present. You know what? I'll just get to the actual still and explain it. But it's a pretty. This part made me laugh too, so we will get to it. He found a present for his father. So, of all the things you would buy your dad, he decides to buy this for that special someone. I don't know. It's just James Caan opening that up. I was already picturing it when I was eating dinner, and I was just laughing just because James Caan is a serious character, and he's gonna get a present and open that. Let's get to. Wait, can we get to that now, or do I have to? We'll find out.
Oh my God! Santa here? I know him. I know him.
He'll be here to take pictures with all the children. Just keep
More yelling. Does he really need to do this in every movie he's in? Yes, it's a other Santa Claus that's coming. So he's working at this North Pole display at Gimbel's. They just sort of brought him in because he's dressed like an elf. So he ends up meeting Zoe Deschanel. He ends up trying to get her into the Christmas spirit. She's depressed at this time because she doesn't really have a place to stay. And her character name is Jovi, I believe. So in the next scene, Buddy gets there early to, let's just say he tweaks the display to the 20th power. He just goes all out. Something he is very good at. Just because he's not good in the elf world, he has some skill in the people world. As building displays, throwing snowballs, you will find this all out. So, now he gets there bright and early, and Zoe and Jovi is there early. She's staying at the Gimbel's department store because she doesn't have a place to stay. So, I will get to that scene where he sings with her. And I will get to that right now.
What's the sense of hurting my
I really can't stay. It's cold outside.
He's a peeping Tom. Actually, he's not. The only reason why he went in there is because she was singing. But yes, when he yelled out and belted when she was in the shower, I did get a chuckle out of it. But again, not over the top hilarious. So now I will finally get to the scene where Walter Hobbs gets his Christmas present from Buddy.
What's that?
intercom?
Well, here it is. Here is the present, and please tell me if I'm right or wrong, but that is pretty funny. Just that guy getting that as a present and opening it was kind of amusing. Again, a chuckle, but nothing too much over the top. So we are going to go to the next scene, which is introducing Buddy to the rest of the family. Let's see how that goes over.
That was uncalled for.
Okay, well, this is Buddy just chugging down a whole 2-liter of Coca-Cola. And I wonder when he's going to be getting treated for diabetes, because it has to be soon. Because this is literally his whole entire diet is sugar upon sugar upon sugar. If you think that part with the Coke was weird, he eats his spaghetti with maple syrup. So this is not a good first impression. And let's just say little Michael is not too fond of his new buddy being his big, annoying big brother who acts like his little brother, if that made sense. So now I will get to the next part here. The part that I did leave out is him having the snowball fight. You'll have to see that for yourself if you haven't already. He's bringing Buddy into the corporate world. He's giving this a shot. I wouldn't. But his dad does have somewhat of a heart. It probably works 2% of the time. So what he does is he brings him into the corporate world. He's annoying him in his office, which I expected was going to happen. So he put him in the mailroom. I would have done the same thing. So I will show you that in just a couple seconds.
Stand and find the floor each piece is moving to.
Put it in a canister and shove it up the tube with the same number.
You got that? I think so.
Okay, so what Buddy's dad actually does is he actually sort of pitches children's books. So this is Buddy in the mailroom. And what his dad is actually doing is he's looking to eventually pitch a book idea to Michael Lerner. So instead they get this other guy named Mr. Finch. And this is kind of a big deal because if they get him, it's big money. So this is where Andy Richter shows his lack of acting skills. And we're going to get to that in just a second.
We were thinking something like this. We opened on a young tomato. He's had some tough times down at the farm with, rabbits.
No.
And
No tomatoes. Too vulnerable. Kids, they're already vulnerable. You see, I told you guys. So I told them the very same. No farms. Everybody's pushing small town rural.
Okay, so this is Mr. Finch, and yes, and Andy Richter is across the table pitching the part with the tomato. This is the first time that Andy Richter has ever mentioned tomato in his life. Usually he mentions donuts and muffins. Yeah, I had to go there. So anyways, now what happens here...
But you're not being.
Nope, not at all. So now what happens is Buddy walks in and thinks that Mr. Finch is an elf because he is a little person. So this causes a conflict, obviously. Mr. Finch gets offended because he keeps calling him, and he called him then an angry elf. So this kind of ruined the deal, except Mr. Finch left his notebook of ideas on the table. So it ended up working out. But what happened was Buddy's dad got mad at him, kicked him out of the office, and now the Christmas spirit somehow is now kind of rotten, and Santa's sleigh crashed in Central Park. So in order to get the Christmas spirit up, you have to sing. The ending to this is weird. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You probably know it because you've probably seen this movie. But if you haven't...
You'll tell me when we're done.
Yeah, I will. So now this is the last clip I am showing. So now I'm going to go to my review. So, before I saw this movie, people said that this was going to be a Christmas classic. Now, this is going against It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street, Home Alone.
Which one?
Home Alone 2. You mean which Miracle on 34th Street? Probably the original would probably be a classic, but just for fun, let's put it up against the new one, which is the worst one. Let's put it up against that. So let's do that, Home Alone 2. Why not throw in Home Alone 3? Why not? Christmas Vacation, Scrooged, A Christmas Carol, A Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yeah, we don't need to do all that one.
Yes, we do. Now, does it...
You forgot the Santa Claus.
I do have to put that in there. Okay. The Santa Claus. You know what? I do have to throw in Prancer, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which I know is just a claymation 45-minute show, but we'll throw it in there with Frosty. Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Does it compete with these? Not even close. Not even close. Like I said, a few laughs out of this movie, but that's it. Was it hilarious? No. Was it incredibly funny? No. I was going to be nice and give this a decent review, but then I actually really watched this with dinner. So I'm going to give it a whopping grade. Ooh. I'm going to give it a D+. I went down.
How often do you watch this movie?
Once a year, and I got my one time over with.
How many times do I watch this movie?
You've never seen it. Do I recommend it? No. Now, my dad called this movie downright awful. Now, I would... That's going a little overboard. I thought it was just okay at first, but I'm kind of leaning towards his side. I thought it was just okay, but then when I actually watched it today, I'm kind of leaning more towards... I'm just going to say it's just... Yeah, it's bad. It is not a classic. I don't know how this is people's all-time favorite Christmas movie when there's so many better ones out there. And Will Ferrell, honestly, I think is very annoying. Now, I did like Ed Asner. I did like James Caan. And I did like Bob Newhart as Papa Elf. One other thing I do have to say that I just read, don't know if it's true or not, but James Caan did say he had a hard time dealing with Will Ferrell during this movie. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case because he has dealt with Al Pacino, Marlon Brando, Kathy Bates, and other great actors, Billy D. Williams. And then he gets Will Ferrell, who is loud, obnoxious, annoying, arrogant. I consider Will Ferrell to be trendy garbage. So, yes, so this is my grade. Comment below. I'm probably going to get a few less subscribers after this. But crap happens. I couldn't lie. I had to give it the grade that I felt it deserved.
What is your favorite Christmas movie?
That's a great question. I'd probably have to say The Old Miracle on 34th Street.
What's mine?
Is it one of the Hallmark ones? I know I just heard this last year, too. It's not the Santa Claus, is it? I know it's not It's a Wonderful Life. Oh, It's a Christmas Carol.
There you go.
But I forgot what version, though. Is it the original or is it the 1960s?
I watched the 1984, but I think there was a different one that I liked more.
They made so many versions.
I don't like Bob Marley in the 1984 one, but that's the one that's on everything, and I have, so.
But I know you don't like Scrooged.
No, I hate that movie.
Ernest Saves Christmas I actually like better than Elf as well.
Oh, you also forgot the Die Hard movies.
Ooh. Yes, that's right. Die Hard. That is a Christmas movie.
I only ever seen that once, along with This a Wonderful Life, and that was like 3 years ago.
And Enemy of the State is a Christmas movie. Wow, there's a lot of movies I put in front of it. So that is it. Just comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. And thank you for watching.